go!
Have you ever walked past a shady store and wondered if it might be a front for something illegal? Playing Cooking Mama Cookstar feels a lot like that. While the bizarre allegations that it's secretly using your Switch to mine cryptocurrency were seemingly proven false, Cookstar feels so underdeveloped that it's easy to see why you might think it has some suspicious ulterior motive. Whether it's the tiresome minigames, the cringeworthy voice acting, or the unforgivable motion controls, Cookstar warrants an investigation into what exactly went wrong either way.
Perfect! Amazing! Oh no, that can't be right.
There's a lot to do in Cooking Mama Cookstar, though very little of it is actually enjoyable. You play a sequence of simple and repetitive minigames that have you cook food, then plate and take a photo of your creation, which you can post on social media if you need to send your family and friends an obvious cry for help. There are over 80 recipes to complete, though many of them pad out the 20+ hours those will take by requiring you to do the same steps over and over again, like cracking eggs and mixing ingredients. To its credit, Cookstar does an admirable job of actually teaching incredibly detailed real-world recipes, which is by far the most rewarding feature here. The cooking minigames themselves, however, are largely either mind-numbingly dull or incredibly frustrating due to poor motion controls and irritating time trials. Most amount to simple quick-time events where you press a button or wave a Joy-Con repeatedly until you've poured some liquid or chopped an ingredient. After the first few times you've played these, you're probably pretty bored, but they'll keep coming back again and again and again anyway.
Get set, go!
While in docked mode, most minigames use optional motion controls, which is fine if you're just cutting vegetables. But once you get into more delicate tasks like Cookstar's rage-inducing cheese-grating minigame, you'll experience the ugly side of its inaccurate motion controls. You might move your arm to pour some ingredients into a bowl, only to find that the Joy-Con simply doesn't register anything. Desperately swinging the Joy-Con around in frustration only makes Mama scream and yell before the ingredients suddenly spill everywhere. Failing a challenging task is one thing, but failing easy and tedious ones because you're apparently jiggling your Joy-Con too fast is truly maddening. You can turn motion controls off or play in handheld mode to alleviate these particular headaches, but then the game is 100% QuickTime events and frustration is replaced with increased monotony. Of course, success or failure doesn't matter in Cookstar anyway. Completing recipes at any level of success unlocks new cosmetics in the next recipe with no incentive to actually play well. Even if you intentionally botch a recipe to see if you can create a culinary abomination, nothing changes. When it's time to take a photo, your creation will look the same no matter how poorly you may have performed. If failure or success were actually reflected in your final product, that alone would have done wonders for making Cookstar more enjoyable. Instead, nothing you do matters in any way, and everything feels pointless as a result. In the unenviable event that you're playing Cooking Mama Cookstar with a friend, the Potluck Party mode offers 10 local cooperative and competitive minigames with riveting activities like seeing who can chop the most potatoes or who can clean the most dirty dishes. That's right, finally, Cookstar brings the excitement of competitive cleaning to the Nintendo Switch, all without actual productivity. There are a few mildly amusing modes, like where one player controls a clove of garlic and the other tries to smash them with a mallet, but even the best are so bare bones they become stale in seconds. As you chop, grill, and steam your way through Cookstar's various recipes, your ears will be tormented by some of the worst voice acting in recent video game history.
Spectacular! Don't give up!
The self-proclaimed Mama of Cooking Mama fame relentlessly repeats the same handful of haunting lines without reprieve and truly never ever stops talking. It's easily one of the worst parts of Cookstar, and her oppressive voice is nigh impossible to get out of your head if you play too much.
Looking good!
One of Cooking Mama Cookstar's biggest failings is that it tries almost nothing new. Past Cooking Mama games had the benefit of being an adorable showcase of the Nintendo DS touchscreen, but rather than doing something special on the Switch, Cookstar simply recreates its predecessors with better graphics, more complicated recipes, and trades the stylus for god-awful motion controls. A side-by-side comparison of recipes from previous Cooking Mama games will show just how little things have changed, and that's a major problem if you're revisiting the series years later because it's already moldy the moment you start playing.
No, that's too fast! Looking good!
Cooking Mama Cookstar is bogged down by monotony, poor motion controls, and nightmarish voice acting, while also having practically nothing new to offer. Whether it's the lack of consequences for failure, the incessantly obnoxious Mama, the bland cooking minigames, the lackluster multiplayer modes, or the complete absence of meaningful progression, Cooking Mama Cookstar is a tedious game that does almost nothing well. For a far better cooking game, check out our review of Overcooked 2, or if you're just really into games about the service industry, watch our more recent review of Totally Reliable Delivery Service, and for everything else, keep it right here on IGN.